Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm filming with two new things from the Melt X Nightmare Before Christmas collection. So if you guys want to see some swatches and eye look, then just keep watching. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome. My name is KARENHARRIS. I like to film tan girl friendly makeup videos here on YouTube. I do post quite often, so highly recommend subscribing, turning on that bell so you're notified every time I post. And if you could do me one more favor and watch this video all the way to the end, it really helps me out. And now, without further blabbering, let's get into it. Okay, you guys, I was so excited when Melt announced their latest Halloween collection. I'm not like the biggest fan of this movie or franchise by any means, but I do love me some Melt, especially when they do their Halloween collection. So I hummed and I hawed and I was like, what am I gonna get? So let me just throw up a picture of the full collection for you guys in case for some reason you haven't seen it, but there are a lot of items to this collection. So let's talk about the stuff I didn't get. The first thing is, of course, the Halloween Town full collection. This includes all of the products. It retails for $258, but when you buy the full collection, you get a discount, so it's $175. That is currently sold out on the Melt website. Trust me, I thought about it and then I talked myself out of it because that's way over my budget of what I can spend on a single collection. Then we have this really cute makeup bag. I need another makeup bag. Like I need a hole in my head, so I did skip on this. It is also sold out. $35. It's got like the two sides to it and it just looks so aesthetically pleasing. So I did skip that. We also have a Halloween Town mirror. I do have a mirror from Melt that has the same shape and size, so I definitely didn't need this, but this is $25 on their website. We have two lipsticks. I definitely wanted this shade Pumpkin King, but I do have a lot of these terracotta shades, so I decided to wear one that's similar in this video. This one is from Beaute, and it's the shade Applause. It's one of my favorites. I haven't worn it in a while, so figured I'd throw it on, but of course, you guys know me, I love a good terracotta shade, so that was $24. We also have a darker shade called Lock, Shock, and Barrel. This is a dark aubergine kind of shade, and it looks very similar to a shade from the Unearthly Halloween collection, so I decided to skip on that. And then we have two gel liners in Master of Fright and Terrible Vision. I do love the Melt liners, but I don't use them enough to justify spending $24 on each of them, so I did pass on those as well. Now the two items I did pick up, let's go ahead and look at. I have them here with me, of course. So the first thing is actually the palette. This is way bigger than I thought. I don't know if it's because of the odd shape that it has, but it is bigger than I expected and I love it. It's quite heavy as well, so I don't know if they had to change how the pans were kind of made, so they had to use like a different type of material than cardboard, but it definitely feels quite heavy. So I don't know, I feel like there's metal in there. Listen, I don't design packaging for a living. That's just my speculation. And of course, I'm going to show you guys the swatches and everything of the palette. So let's go ahead and take a peek. So this palette has a 12-month shelf life. It is 19.04 grams or 0.67 ounces. So it says an eyeshadow palette starring Oogie Boogie with 10 rich matte and metallic tones pulled from our favorite scenes and characters in Halloween Town. Dip into 4 unique blues inspired by our favorite ragdoll, Sally. Pinks and purples, a sparkling orange, and cool chartreuse. Your new favorite palette screams Halloween. Gone Again is a metallic burnt orange. Oogie Boogie, metallic chartreuse. Ooze, deep teal blue. Shriek, teal matte. Ragdoll, matte sky blue. Mausoleum, metallic sea foam. The Mare, muted rouge. Worms, wart. Electric purple with pink sparkle. My Bugs, matte lilac. Bone Daddy, deep matte plum. I will say, just off of swatches, I'm a little bit worried because this palette did not swatch beautifully in my opinion. And the metallics seem pretty lackluster, so I feel like the expense of this palette probably was in designing the packaging. But that's just my speculation from just reviewing makeup. I actually don't know how all of that works behind the scenes, but that's just my speculation. It's just my opinion. Allegedly, I'm not saying any of this is fact, but it definitely feels like the palette is very well made, but I didn't think the eyeshadows were like knocking my socks off. Now I did also go ahead and pick up the True Love Never Dies Digital Dust Highlighter. I do have a close-up of this as well. So this is 7.5 grams or 0.26 ounces. And this also has a 12-month shelf life. Again, it has this really cool like off-centered packaging with the two characters on the box. And then it has this really cool plastic packaging that looks very similar to the mirror, so a little bit different, but I do love Melt's Digital Dust Highlighters. I do have a bit of a peachy, blushy, glowy situation going on because I did film today already. I'm filming a second video now, so yeah. Either which way, I'm excited to play with it. I haven't swatched it yet because, of course, the imprint is super stunning, but let's go ahead and just do that real quick. Okay, so it's a very much like a goldeny shade and it has like a peachy shift to it. Let's just go ahead and see what information they have about it. It says our iconic digital dust highlight formula featuring the iconic duo Jack and Sally, a sheer pink highlight with a soft pink sparkle. The formula glides on sheer, can be layered over blush or used on the cheekbones and high points of the face for a lush glow. I did not get a sheer pink highlight. Really? I mean, I guess when I flip it, I thought it was more of a peach, but I guess now the more I think about it, it does look pink. So it looks like pink and gold, like duochrome, but I'm excited to put it on my face, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I just have this little Sephora like fan brush. I'm gonna try and not completely ruin the imprint, but let's see. My cheeks are like already glowy. That's pretty. Did it pick up on camera? Oh, these digital dust highlighters do not disappoint. Oh my gosh, that is stunning. This on a deeper skin tone, I feel like would so totally pop. Like that pink would so pop. But I freaking love it. Let's just put a little more on. Why not? Let's just be extra. Do you guys see it? I really hope my camera is picking it up. Otherwise, we're going to have a conversation with the tech person that's in charge on this channel. But oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited about the highlight. It is pretty. Okay, y'all. So let's see here. Had kind of an idea to try and play with like multiple shadows in this palette. So let's see if I can pull this off. Okay, so I'm going to grab kind of a blender slash shadowy brush and I want to go in with this shade called Oozy, which is like a really pretty blue tealy color, and I'm gonna place it on the outer corner. Ooh, that is so pigmented. I'm gonna do some of this eye first and see if I want to do a second look. I kind of want to try and incorporate the purples and the golden shade. So let's see if I can manage that. Okay, so next I'm gonna go into the shade called the Mare, which is like a really pretty like purpley color. And I'm just gonna put that on the crease. And I am using the same brush, but I did clean it off on my Sigma switch. And I am like blending it, but I'm also trying to make sure it looks nice and pigmented. And then I think that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna go into the shade called Shriek, and I'm gonna kind of put it down like between the two shades right here. Ooh, that's pretty too. Okay. And then I want to take this shade called Oogie Boogie, and that's what's gonna go on the lid. So let's try it and see how that looks. The mattes actually worked out way better than I thought they were going to. Because when they swatch, I was like, ooh, that is not promising at all. Ooh, it's kind of cute. I'm going to take this brush from Game Beauty and go into the shade My Bugs. And I'm just going to run that around the edge of the purple. Okay, I like how this look is, but I think I'm going to do a different one on the other eye because I might as well, you know, just to try out more shades. So on this eye, we're going to do something fun as well. And I'm going to go into the shade called Bone Daddy. Listen, I kind of love that name. I don't know if that's an actual character. I'm guessing it is an actual character, or I don't know if it's like something they call Jack Skellington, but I think that's a funny one. So I'm just using that same brush that I used on the crease on the other eye. Ooh, that is a really good dark purple. And then I'm going to use the shade called the Mare in the crease. Okay, and I'm going to take that same little brush and I'm going to go into the shade called Ragdoll. And I'm just going to run that on the outer edge just to kind of help blend these shades out a little bit because they're all so dark and grungy feeling. Okay, and then for the lid on this side, I think I'm going to use Mausoleum, but I also want to throw in a bit of Gone Again. Which shade should I use? Let's try out Gone Again on the outer part and then Mausoleum on the inner part. So I'm going to pick up a good amount of Gone Again on my brush. Give it a little spray and we're going to start on the outer edge. Okay, that's like cute. It's very much like both of these look like Sally's dress, but I'm going to put on the Mausoleum shade on the inner corner to see if I can like lighten this up a little bit. Okay, so I did mix a little bit of Mausoleum and Gone Again, and it turned into like this blue, bronzy, odd shade, like almost a green, like a seafoam weird green shade. So yeah, I just wanted to try out as many shades as I could. I think I ended up using every single color in the palette. Oh no, I forgot to use the shade called Wormswort. Okay, we can find a spot for that. Let's see here. I think I could even throw that a little bit. Oh boy, that was a pigmented purple. Okay, well now officially this eye is like all the shades on Sally's dress. I'm gonna make it look like a patchwork quilt. So we've got Mausoleum, Wormswort, and then that shade called Gone Again. That's kind of cool. I don't hate that. So I'm going to throw on some eyeliner quick and then I will finish off the lower lash line on both of these eye looks. Okay, so I can't review a Melt collection and not use the only PR I ever got from Melt, which are these Slick Waterline eyeliners. I love these so much and they actually launched a black and a white and I wanted them so bad, but they haven't come to Sephora and I don't want to place an order on the Melt website if I have to pay for shipping. So I know it's so ridiculous, but that's just how I feel about it, okay? So I'm just holding out until they either do free shipping or I place a big enough order for free shipping. But Dame Beauty sent me these brushes and I love these ones. This is the E08. It feels like you're using a little finger to do your lower lash line and I'm kind of here for it. So on this eye, I'm going to take the shade My Bugs and I'm just going to use that on the lower lash line. I need like a light shade because I don't want it to be as dark on the lower lash line as it is up top. I feel like the look got really dark and grungy because there's not a lot of contrast in this palette. I feel like this palette would have totally benefited from a white shade. I don't think it needed a black, but it definitely could have used a white shade because everything is just so dark and grungy. And I just don't have anything to lighten stuff up. And I feel like that's going to hold this palette back a little bit. I'm going to take the shade Ragdoll and I'm going to use that in the lower lash line on this palette just to tie it in from the inner corner here. So I'm just going really dramatic, kind of just wild and free over here. I'm just taking this shade called Bone Daddy and of course running it on the lower lash line, and you guys know I love to just blend that in to the upper part of the outer corner just to give it some continuation there. These eye looks are so dramatic. It's wild. Okay, I'm going to take Ooze and do the same thing on this side. Just kind of blend it to the outer corner. And then I'm going to take a little bit of Bone Daddy as well and just kind of run it there. And then I'm just going to take this other Game Beauty brush and go into the light blue and just run it there, and take the shade My Bugs and just run it on the outer edge as well. Now I feel like these looks would totally benefit from a really punchy inner corner shade. So I'm going to reach into my highlight drawer and find something. Okay, so I'm just reaching into my Bella Beaute Bar Oracle palette, and I just want to pick something that's going to give it some color. So I just will go with the shade called A Star, and I'm going to give it a little spray. And that looks super cute. It's like a lavender bluey shade. That's cute. And then I'm going to take the shade called the High Priestess, give it a spray, and I'm just going to put that on the inner corner of the other eye look. This one has like a great blue shift to it. Okay, so I just need to throw on some mascara on both of these looks and throw on some earrings, and I'll be right back to give you guys my first impression thoughts on these looks. Okay friends, here is the finished look. I feel like it turned out to basically be two different versions of Sally's dress, which I feel like makes sense considering the color story that's in here. It's pretty much reminding me so much of that color palette. So I can put up a picture if you guys are confused about what I'm talking about, but I feel like that's basically what I did. As far as the looks go, I did grab some of my other Melt palettes just so we could do some quick comparisons. So this is their last palette, which is their Electric palette. And I thought this was pretty nice, and I thought the formula was really nice. And I will say that, I mean, you're not wrong if you feel like you're seeing double here, because there is that repetition of that tealy blue shade, which we see in both of these palettes, and like that metallic blue shade. So yeah, I mean, if you feel like you're seeing double, maybe you are. I also just wanted to show you guys a side-by-side of the Blueprint palette and this new palette in case you were already a proud owner of the Blueprint palette. And then last but certainly not least is the Morte palette from their Halloween collection a few years ago, I guess. It's been that long, but they did bring this one back. So there's the shades. So yeah, that teal shade kind of seems to be like a repeat guest in these Melt palettes, and I really hadn't even noticed. I guess I could swatch them. They do look really similar, but I really don't want to right now. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys those comparisons of the palettes. So let's go ahead and talk about my favorite thing in the collection, which from the two things I bought, I think is the highlighter. This is beautiful. I'm definitely going to be playing with it so much. I've had such good luck with these, so I had a feeling I was going to love it, but I'm happy it actually worked out for me. As far as the eyeshadow palette goes, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. It is perfect if you are a big fan of the movie. I think that the packaging is 10 out of 10. I don't even love the movie that much, and I think this is so freaking cool. So yeah, if you're a fan of the movie, I could totally see you picking this up for collector's purposes, for merch purposes, just because you like all things spooky and horror. So yeah, it's so cute. They did not like short any of the details. As far as the shadows on the inside, I will say personally, the dark matte shades are excellent. They're so pigmented. The metallic shades really are quite ordinary, which is so disappointing. I feel like with a franchise like A Nightmare Before Christmas, they could have really given us something, like something interesting. And so I feel like they're so ordinary. And I think my one big critique of this palette is that it doesn't have enough light shades in it. So the looks are very much grungy, and I don't know, I feel like there's not enough contrast between the mattes and the shimmers to make the look very poppy. To me, honestly, it looks very much muddy on the eyelids, and I'm trying not to be too critical because typically I am very, very critical, and then when I see it on camera, I'm like, oh, actually that looks cuter than I thought it does. But to me in person, I'm like, I don't know, I feel like it's just okay. And this is a really pricey palette. It's $60. It doesn't really have any special shades. The quality is nice. The mattes are nice. I mean, they definitely perform better than they swatch, so thank goodness for that. But the shimmers are very ordinary, like very, very ordinary. And I feel like if you are a melt collector, you probably have most of these shades. So the uniqueness of this palette is definitely the purples. And I don't even know if it's that unique because I forgot to grab She's in Parties. So maybe these purples are also already in their existing collection. They probably have these in some of their more neutral palettes. So overall, I feel like they delivered on packaging and they offered something for everyone. So if you're a melt collector, you're going to score on the beautiful palette, the packaging. You're going to have some of their best shades in one shop. And if you are new to the brand, you're going to be completely blown away by this packaging, the quality, it's all there. So you guys will have to let me know. Did you guys buy this? Did you pass on it? Did I pretty much tell you what you were expecting to hear, or are you completely shocked by my review? As far as the look goes, honestly, I don't love it, but I also see very much like the references from the movies on my eyes. So yeah, I just wish they had included white. I think a white would have been super duper handy, but those are all my thoughts on the new Melt Disney Nightmare Before Christmas collaboration collection. I only got 2 items, so I feel like this isn't the most thorough review, but I really didn't want to buy just for the sake of buying and creating a video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you in another video very, very soon. Bye, friends!